Oh. This particular healing fire has been going on for many years in some form or another. But the healing fire as we know it today has been going on for 3 years. And it has quite a history where the leaders of the community and other communities Indigenous people are coming from that are homeless, that are vulnerable and unhoused, they need help in many different ways and different supports.
And then you turn right from that road. It's the first house. Yeah.
When you're homeless, just want to keep to yourself and you're afraid to ask. I saw this, I was going by. I just wanted to stop and see what was going on.
Hello. How are you? I started drinking when I was like probably 19, 20, and then I got introduced to drugs at one point, and I went from like once a month to every weekend, and then I was doing it to 6 times a week. From there, I didn't think I had a problem. I was just in denial, and I was just, I was hurting people. I didn't realize I was hurting.
Yeah, and then I got 2 more. Okay. Because if it dumps in the soup bus, then they can clean it up, and you can't clean it up. Right?
At some point in time in our lives, we've been incarcerated, we've done these things. To speak for myself, I used to be down here providing and enjoying my life. I was married, actually, and my father-in-law's here too. We were all stuck in addiction. I lost my wife in 2023. It's given me a drive, so that's what we're about. We're about that. We're all about our communities, helping to get the children and the young folks off the street. I, for myself, don't ever want to go back to jail. It's not a place for these young folks either, and we're losing so many. That's not a place for anybody.
Like this, help our community, help our elders, changing the perspective on bikers and how people look at us. We're out here to help people make our community stronger and better.
A lot of people will see the patch on bikers and see us riding in formation and they think, oh, there's some bad guys. So we're trying to show that we're about positivity, that we're here to help the community, that people can come to us and approach us, that we're not big mean bikers like you watch on, TV shows, stuff like that, right? The first one in British Columbia, first Red Rum chapter. Our patch, everything on here means something. That's why it means so dear to us. Burgundy, maroon color, is the lifeblood that flows through all living creatures on Earth. The reason there's a circle is to represent Mother Earth and everybody that walks on it. And everything that we teach now and what we do now will do a full circle and come back to us. So we always have to remember that. The headdress is a sign of great responsibility and power. And the feathers pointing straight up is to remind us that everything we think in our teachings go directly to Creator. They represent both sides. Represents is red drum, and it's the heartbeat that beats in you, me, the animals, everything, right?
Just to know that we're on the traditional lands and the territories, and that where we live, work, and play, and do our thing. We gather. This is community. There's no separation between us. And some folks say them, those people, them people. No, you're part of the community. You are the people. You are the community.
Think of events like this and what they're needed. I think when this started, it was agencies getting together in a good way, and especially during the pandemic, to come together to support, the people who need support in the community, or they're part of our community. Yeah, there's no separation in the community. We always think, a lot of folks think those people, them people. It's we the people. Community means about people coming together. It means communication. That people come together and agree with it. That need love. The folks here only love. They all have a mom, they have a dad, they have aunts. The most important thing we lack. So I'm gonna start with a lot. Okay. We continue to open up one another.
One time I asked my uncle, Alec, his name was Alec, you know any old stories? And he looks into the distance and he goes, my grandmother told me that Morristown was one of the very first villages from the very beginning. And I'm like, the very beginning? That's a long, long time ago. He goes, yes. And he said, that's why our language is
spoken from here on out. All the community here and there speak our language because they originally came from here. I'm a former Indian residential survivor. I lost my mom for a year and a half before we had to go.
Like in the fall, we rode around and handed out gloves and blankets to people that we saw that looked like they need it. And that gives you a good feeling. Same with the Christmas hampers. We handed out 15 Christmas hampers and a box of food to a family that's not expecting it. And tears, well, it's a good feeling.
People aren't out here sharing that there's another way, there's a better way of life. It's the way to go, man. It is the right way.
Look at all the contributions everybody's doing, which is more than anybody can really ask for.
Hearing what people need, we don't know what they need, right? They don't come to us. We can walk up to them and ask them questions. Or anybody, I don't know what you do until they ask you the question. I don't know what you need until we ask the question. This gives an opportunity to ask the questions. If we can at least once a month bring things that people need, it shows them that we care. And when we care, well, then it makes a better neighborhood for everybody.